A very good afternoon and warmest greetings, especially to our special guests, Dr. Zulkifli Jantan, who is the Sarawak Health Department Director, and also good afternoon to Puan Mary John, the Principal of St. Teresa Secondary School, Kuching. Good afternoon as well to all teachers, parents, staff members, and also Parent Teachers Association members and students from all the various schools here in Kuching. This afternoon, I will be talking on a topic, obesity and you. Now, why did this idea come out? How did it come out? Well, actually, Puan Mary John was very concerned about how the degree of obesity, overweight has increased among students, among teachers, among staff members in her school. So what she has done, which is a very noble gesture, she has gone to a few other principals in the various schools here in Kuching who are seated here with us this afternoon and discussed this matter. Apparently, it's not just an issue here in St. Teresa's Secondary School. It seems to be an issue everywhere that we go. And we will see later on through statistics that this is very true, even in a nation. Now, first of all, what is obesity? We are going to look at that now. Tom Wilczek once said, the rise of childhood obesity has placed the health of the entire generation at risk. Well, this is quite a big statement, isn't it? We would like to wonder, how can this be? How can childhood obesity, or how can obesity per se affect a generation, put it at risk, the whole nation perhaps? Well, this has a lot to do with the effects of obesity. Definitely, there are many diverse effects, negative effects of obesity or even being overweight. It affects your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and of course, it will also be a ripple effect into how you perform in your work. Probably that's what he meant, the whole generation at risk. Now, my talk this afternoon will take us into a better understanding of what is obesity and what are the main causes. What are the effects on your health, on your image, on your performance at work or in school. And of course, to understand all this, a lot of us have one question. What does ideal weight mean? What weight should I be to be normal, to not be overweight, to not be obese? Well, according to the World Health Organization recommendation, the BMI, or the body mass index for adults above 18, and this goes for both genders, male and female, the normal BMI is 18.5. What does BMI mean? Now, probably most of you do not know how to calculate your BMI. Well, BMI, if you use the metric system, is to take your weight in kilogram and your height in meters. Use your weight, divide it by the square of your height. For example, I'm 60 kilograms and I'm 160 centimeters tall. Now, I will take my weight, 60 kilograms, 60 divided by 1.6 meters, that is, times 1.6 meters, that's 1.6 square. And I will come up with a figure that is 23.44 when I do the mathematics. That is still within the normal range of BMI, because the normal range, according to the recommendation from the World Health Organization, is between 18.5 and 25. If you have a BMI above 25, between 25 and 30, then you would be considered to be overweight. And worse still, if your BMI is above 30, then you should be worried, because that would put you in the obese category. Okay, now let's talk about statistics here. According to Lancet, which is a British medical journal, in June of 2014, in a survey that they did, Malaysia actually registered 49% obesity rate among women in the whole nation and 44% among the men. Now that is not a very good number, because that puts Malaysia as the highest ranking in obesity among all the Asian nations. And that is not something that we are proud of. We made it to the top, but that is not something we should be proud of. Now, another statistics, the Minister of Health, Dato Sri S. Subramaniam, says that there is a worrying figure to note. Obesity prevalence in 1994 among Malaysians was 4.4%, but in 2006, which is 10 years later, it has shot up to 14%. And he also announced that the National Health and Morbidity Survey in 2015 has showed that obese Malaysian men makes up to 17.7% of the whole population, while those who are overweight at that time was 30%. So again, we have cause to be worried. Now, talking about causes, what causes obesity? A lot of us tend to put the blame on genes, on hormones, on the medication that we take. Whereas surveys or studies and researchers have shown that genetic factor may be too small, or the rate may be too low to even directly cause obesity. So it all goes back to you and you. It goes back to me as well. It's all up to you and me to determine whether we want to avoid being obese, avoid being overweight, or otherwise. How is this so? Because we are going to find out that all these, or the more prevalent factors that cause obesity, are within our control. How we control our food intake, and how we discipline ourselves for physical activity. Are we active physically? So very importantly, we need to think of all these things.